You are learning to trust things that you've been taught to not trust. So I had this long download come in this morning, and it's all around this idea that we are not taught to trust certain things, and we're actually taught to ignore a lot of things that we experience that are really important. So I made a list of them, and I want to go through a couple of them today so that you understand which things that you might be ignoring that you really need to pay attention to. So one of the things that we're taught to ignore or dismiss is our ideas. So a lot of the times our ideas feel like they're just thoughts and that they're not really important and they don't really mean anything, and they're just insignificant. But the truth is that your ideas are never random. And I've learned this in my own life, that your ideas are never random. They are actually answers to prayers, answers to intentions, answers to wishes. So say you wish for more money, or you set an intention that you want to bring more money in, and a month later you get an idea to start a certain business or create a product, invent something. Most of us dismiss those ideas. We tell ourselves that, oh yeah, but I could never do that, or how would I even start? But that is your guidance showing up and saying to you, hey, you asked for this thing, and now I'm going to give you a way to have it. So never dismiss your ideas. Never dismiss them as just thoughts, because they're often trying to lead you in a new direction. So pay attention when they come up. When you have ideas, write them down and see if they aren't some sort of answer to a prayer or a wish or an intention. So the second thing that we're not taught to trust, and actually we're taught a lot of times to ignore it, are the physical sensations in our body that happen in response to something. So I'll give you an example. I had a friend who recently lost her job and decided that she wanted to go on an interview with a company that had contacted her. The night before the interview, she had terrible stomach pain and was feeling a lot of anxiety in her chest, feeling like she couldn't catch her breath, and was not at all connecting the two things until we had a conversation about it. And I said to her, well, how are you feeling about going for this job interview? Is it nerves? And she said, no, it's not that I'm nervous about the job interview. There's a part of me that just keeps saying, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go take some job that I don't even want. I don't want to work at all. I don't want to work right now. I just don't want to. But she had ignored these body sensations so many times in her life. And after we had this conversation, she realized that it was her body's way of signaling to her that she was about to do something that she really didn't want to do. And it's so important for us to honor those physical sensations, whether it's illness symptoms like an upset stomach or a sore throat even, or if it's a tension or anxiety in the chest, or even headaches, or just an overall feeling of overwhelm or stress. We have to be really careful to pay attention to those things because they are signals from our body saying something's out of alignment here. This might not be something you want to do. This might not be the road you want to take. And you may end up later making a different decision. But in the moment, it's very important to give yourself permission and space to not want what you're telling yourself you want. You have to kind of allow it so that you get out of that resistance that you're experiencing. Another good example of that is when you go to visit certain people. This used to happen with me. The day or two before I was supposed to go and see a certain person in my life, I would get a lot of anxiety. And I would especially get that anxiety in the car. So I thought that it was driving anxiety, but it was actually anxiety that was telling me, I don't want to be around this person. I don't want to do this. I hate that you're making me do this. And it wasn't until I allowed that I allowed my body to have the sensations that was happening, that I listened to my body and the sensations that it was giving me, and I honored it and said, you know what, you don't have to go. And the minute I did that, the symptoms went away. So please pay attention to those two things. Your ideas and the physical sensations in your body. Because when you do that and you honor them and you allow yourself to have them, you take another step forward in your life towards the things that you want and away from the things that you don't want. And you set yourself free. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.